Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to our Django QuerySet API series. In this video, we will build a bunch of foundation of query sets and explore how to move beyond basic query methods. Let's begin by reviewing some key principles. First of all, the result of database fetching with Django ORM is not a list, and don't treat it like that. QuerySet have a ton of built-in features to explore. Many developers think QuerySet are limited to basic operations like get, filter, and create. While these methods are essential, the power of QuerySet extends far beyond these basics. Today we'll explore the key features that lay the groundwork for more complex queries down the line. Before we get too far, it's important to touch one key concept – lazy evaluation. Django QuerySet are lazy, meaning they don't actually hit the database until you try to access the data. This allows you to chain filters and build queries without running them immediately. However, if you are not mindful of when your query gets evaluated, you could easily run into a performance issue or find yourself confused about why a database fetching error occurs on a different line than I expected. In these examples, all queries is evaluated immediately. However, if we assign it to a variable and process it in a loop, it will only be executed at that point. When it's all clear now, let's talk about QuerySet chaining. Django allows you to chain multiple QuerySet methods together. This not only keeps your code clean, but also enables you to build complex queries incrementally. Understanding how effectively chain methods will make it easier when we get into advanced techniques like expressions and conditional statements in future. Next up is the Django shell, an indispensable tool every Django developer should master. The Django shell allows you to interactively test your QuerySet model methods and other parts of your application without having to set up a view or template first. To open Django shell, you simply run this command. From here, you can interact with your database models just like you would in your application code. You can create, retrieve, update, or delete objects, test complex queries, and even try out third-party packages before integrating them into your project. Now, let's touch on efficient query processing. Offloading as much work to the database is essential for performance. Databases are highly efficient at retrieval data, whereas Python can introduce performance bottlenecks if not used carefully. Let's review two code samples and compare their performance. In the first example, we are using group by technique and adding total price of all the books for each author. In second example, we fetch all the books from the database and perform the aggregation manually in Python. If we execute both in the Django shell, you'll notice how much faster the database processing is in the first case. Keep in mind, as your database grows larger, the performance gap between Python and database processing will become even more significant. Django provides a wide range of QuerySet methods that allow you to accomplish more with a single database query, minimizing the need of the Python-side processing. Let's review the methods you can use on a daily basis to improve your query performance. Let's start with count. This method is used to get a number of items in a query set rather than using len on it, which is less efficient. Exists help to avoid an unnecessary select star query when you just need to check if something exists. Update allows you to update rows in a query set without looping over each item and saving them individually. Get or create retrieves an object based on the lookup fields. If the object doesn't exist, it creates a new one using the provided defaults for additional field values. Update or create attempts to fetch an object using lookup fields. If found, it updates the object with the default values. If not, it creates a new object with both the lookup fields and defaults. Exclude the opposite of filtering. It omits certain objects from the results. Distinct ensure only unique objects are returned by the query set. Only and defer use only to fetch specific fields from a table, or defer to retrieve everything except the specific fields. Values. This method returns a query set of dictionaries. It's useful when you want to retrieve specific fields as a dictionary format rather than full model instances. Values list. This method returns a query set of tuples, where each tuple contains the value of the field specified. If you need a flat list, instead of list tuples, you can pass the flat equals true argument, but this can only be used when you are fetching a single field. None returns an empty query set. First and last retrieves the first or last object in a query set based on the ordering, latest and earliest. Similar to first and last, but you can specify a date or datetime field to determine which object to fetch. Aggregate perform calculation on the query set and returns summary result, like total, average, or sum, etc. Annotate adds new attribute to each instance of the query set, often used for adding calculated fields. Use selectRelated for foreign key relationships. This method fetches related objects in a single query, reducing the number of queries made. Use prefetchRelated for many-to-many relationships. This allows you to fetch related objects in a more efficient way for complex relationships, performing additional query and caching it. Intersection, difference, and union. Use it to combine query sets. Intersection returns item common to both query sets. Difference return items that are in one query set but not in the other. And union combines items from both query sets without duplicates. Bulk create and bulk update allow you to create or update a large number of objects in the single query, improving performance when handling large datasets. Okay, that's it with basics. Understanding these foundational concepts will set you up for success as we explore advanced topics in the upcoming sections, which we are starting now. Let's start with f expression. These are essential for performing calculation directly in the database. F expressions enable you to reference model fields in your queries without pulling them into memory, enhancing performance. In this example, we are updating the price of all books by adding 10. This avoids the overhead of retrieving the object into a memory, modifying them, and saving them back. Next up, we have QObjects. These are crucial for building complex queries that require logical operations. QObjects allow you to create dynamic queries using AND, OR, and NOT conditions. Here we fetch all books written by after name, or priced below 20. QObjects shine in scenarios requiring complex filtering logic without cluttering your code. Have you ever come across a situation where you need to build a query where fields is not equal to some value? Quite hard to do with basic Django methods, but it's possible with QObject. You can combine f expression and QObjects to create powerful and dynamic queries. For instance, if you want to find books that are either by a specific author or priced at more than 20% above the average price, you can use both in your query. In this example, we dynamically calculate the average price and filter books accordingly. This flexibility showcases the power of combining query expression. It's essential to understand how these expressions translate to SQL under the hood. When you use f and QObjects, Django constructs efficient SQL queries that runs directly in the database, which can significantly improve performance. This SQL example shows how your Django query translates directly to the database queries, helping you to appreciate the efficiency of using queries expressions. And that's wrap for today's video. Remember, these features aren't just about cleaner code, they dramatically boost your Django application performance. For in-depth looks at these features, check out the Django documentation, link in the description. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, be sure to hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more exciting content that will help you level up your Django skills. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.